Hello, I am Dave Mack and welcome to my latest episode of my 1992 WWF save, A New Era of Wrestling on TEW9. We are diving into our latest episode of Superstars of Wrestling, where we have our champion Macho Man Randy Savage ready for action and a few other bits. So let's dive straight in on this one. So here we are. We are coming from the Baltimore area, being held in front of 11,411 people, which is really good. Our pre-show first match, we have Owen Hart, who I've recently been talking about our kind of jobbers that we've got, who should be pushed to the top level, and Owen Hart seems to be winning that, so we might be seeing a little bit more of Owen Hart getting pushed up the card a little bit there. But in a poor pre-show match, which is a bit disappointing, Owen Hart defeats the Repo Man in 10 minutes and 30 seconds for a 56 rating. Owen Hart with an in-ring performance of 55, which actually, to be fair, he's not particularly high up the card. He is an unknown. He's pretty much a jobber at the moment, so that's pretty decent rating for the in-ring. Repo Man with a 49, he's a pretty steady hand, so we're happy with that one. Moving on, we have the Bushwhackers versus Jake the Snake Roberts, and here's the other man who's got a lot of love out of my unimportant jobbers who should be getting pushed is a new signing Raven. In a pre-show bout that had decent reaction from the crowd but subpar wrestling, Jake the Snake Roberts and Raven defeated the Bushwhackers in 11 minutes and 24 seconds, when Jake the Snake Roberts pinned Butch with a DDT. Jake the Snake is head and shoulders above everyone else as far as in-ring performance goes, so that gets a 62 for our pre-show there. Luke with a 46, Butch with a 48, not expecting anything from the Bushwhackers really. Raven with a 37, a little bit low, but Jake the Snake Roberts with a 74. Jake the Snake coming out looking good and Raven getting better. I wanted to kind of pair Jake and Raven together because I think it's a kind of interesting look. I think it's an interesting combination. I'm also struggling a little bit with Jake the Snake Roberts. He should be doing something, I'm not quite sure what yet, so I do want to get him a little bit pushed. We've got WrestleMania around the corner happening in the March-April time, so I want to try and get him up the card there, but I thought I'd use Raven, can attach him to Jake, and they can kind of elevate each other, and maybe we'll see him getting a run in the tag division. But if you've got any ideas what I should be doing with Jake Snake, stick it in the comments, let me know, because we do want to get Jake the Snake booked a little bit more. And then our final pre-show bout is Marty Jannetty versus The Undertaker. Decent match. The Undertaker defeats him. It was designed to work the crowd. We're just getting everything going on there for a 71. Wowzers. That's really good rating. I was not expecting that from a pre-show match. The Undertaker with a 72. Marty Jannetty with a 56. Yeah, all round really good. That could have actually probably stayed on the main show, which is a little bit disappointing there. But hey-ho. We move on and to the actual show. And our opening bout is the Big Boss Man and Sergeant Slaughter versus Shawn Michaels and Rick the Model Martell. In a decent match, Bossman and Slaughter defeated Michaels and Martell in 11 minutes 17 when Slaughter submitted Shawn with the Cobra Clutch. Segment rating of 75 there, which is pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with that. Slaughter with a 65, Bossman with a 64. Both of these guys are doing a fairly kind of that gatekeeping level, I guess, for the main card as far as faces go for Sergeant Slaughter. Big Boss Man is definitely an up-and-comer here. We've got Rick the Model with a 68 and Shawn with a 66. I mean, that's about as very much the mid-60s to high 60s rating all round there as we've got, so that's really fantastic. I wanted to pair Michaels and Martell as a tag team. It's a bit of a shame they don't have any chemistry because that would be really good. I know they feuded later on in 92, but I'm not so sure I want to go with that. I've got no Sensational Sherry at the moment because she's popped off due to a drug habit off to rehab, so I've not got her hanging around for a bit. I also think Rick the Model can be a pretty good guy for Michaels to learn from, so we're going to kind of stick with that. And then we move into our first promo of the evening.
Ted Hut! At ease, maggots! You're looking at two proud Americans who have had just about enough of the low-life scum trying to stink up the World Wrestling Federation. You see, I've marched on battlefields across the globe, but right now, the battleground is right here in the WWF. And standing beside me is one tough lawman, the Big Boss Man. Together, we're not just a tag team, we're a cleanup crew. We're taking out the trash. Every cheater, every coward, every slimeball that thinks they can disrespect this great sport and this great country. The Sarge and the Boss Man are locking and loading, And when we're done, the WWF will be cleaner than a Marine's boots on inspection day. So you better fall in line or get taken out with the garbage, because we're coming for you. And that's an order.
And there we have it. That is the Sergeant Slaughter Big Boss Man team kind of coming together there. In an average 7-minute interview with Sean Mooney, we get a 69 rating, which is okay. One of my owner goals is to keep Sergeant Slaughter at a certain level of pop. It's kind of roughly around what he is at the moment. It's a sort of, I think, about the 70s. So I need to keep Slaughter kind of relevant. The Big Boss Man is still coming up under my creative plans as the one to watch for the future. Could become an exceptional in-ring talent, yada, yada, yada. All the really good things. So I wanted to pair him up with a veteran that we can kind of stick them together, keep them both relevant so I can keep the Sarge up the top end of the card, which I need to, and hopefully get the Boss Man a little bit more experience and can start injecting him into some matches with slightly bigger opponents, or perhaps picking up a few wins just to try and get a bit more experience. So yeah, that's what's going on there. So yeah, they're going to look to clean up the WWF. So we'll see what happens from that point.
You see, I told you all along, everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man. And Macho Man Randy Savage, your price has finally come due. Because standing next to me is the finest legal mind money can buy, my lawyer, Mr. Regal. He's drawn up the contract for the biggest match of your miserable life, the $1 Million match. Here's how it works, Savage. You can go ahead and find yourself a partner, any poor fool dumb enough to stand beside you. But when you step in the ring against myself and the real world's champion, Ric Flair, you're gambling with your very future. Because if, and that's a big if, you manage to win, then the whole legal case against you disappears like it never happens. But when Ric Flair and Ted DiBiase do what we always do, dominate and destroy, then you, Macho Man, owe Ric Flair $1 million. And don't think for a second this is some fantasy, Savage, because the doctors have cleared the Nature Boy to compete. And at Saturday night's main event, the whole world will see Ric Flair style and profile all over your broken body. Savage, you thought you ended the Nature Boy at the Royal Rumble? Wrong. The neck is healed, the jet is fueled, and I'm coming back to the big time, pal. The $1 Million match means the Nature Boy and the $1 Million Man are riding together. Woo! And when the dust settles, Macho, I'm $1 million richer, and you're 1,000,000 times dumber forever messing with us. And Mr. Regal, as a token of my appreciation, I'm giving you something that no amount of money could ever buy. The symbol of true greatness, the crown jewel of my empire, the $1 Million Championship. Because you've proven what the world already knows, that the $1 Million Man always gets what he wants.
Justice served. And soon, Mr. Savage, your debt will be collected.
And there we have it. The $1 Million match challenge is set out. Lots to unpack there. So the $1 Million Man is kind of bankrolling Ric Flair's challenge of the Macho Man for the $1 Million match. And we've introduced their legal counsel, which is none other than Mr. Regal, William Regal there, who as payment has been given the $1 Million Championship. So lots to unpack in that one segment there. Coming out with a segment rating of 70, which is really good. At the moment, we've got William Regal in here. I'm kind of aligning him with Ted DiBiase and Ric Flair. He is massively down the card, but I have spoken to Regal. He's dropped a lot of his bad habits, like his drinking and his drugs, so hopefully we're going to be able to give him a good solid push and he'll get up the card. I think he'll be a good foil to add to the group, which will be really interesting. So yeah, the $1 Million match is set. Can the $1 Million Man and Ric Flair take the $1 million off of Macho Man Randy Savage? We shall find out at Saturday night main event. This will also mean Macho needs a tag team partner. Who is it going to be? We do not know at the moment. Then we have a match which is Bret the Hitman Hart defending his Intercontinental title against Haku with a victory with a sharpshooter in 10 minutes 27 seconds, and for a segment rating of an 80, absolutely fantastic. Bret Hart with an 82 in-ring performance is absolutely smashing it out of the park for me at the moment. As far as this kind of mid-carder, doing really well. Haku with a 52, not too bad, but I wasn't expecting anything great from him. And Reverend Slick, who is Haku's manager, doing a good job at ringside. And we move into our next and final angle of the night.
Oh, Bret Hart, the shining hero, the Intercontinental Champion, the man who thinks he's untouchable. But you see, order, rules, honor, they're all just little illusions, Bret. And I've brought someone who doesn't believe in illusions. He believes in pain. Every time you lace up those pretty little pink boots, Bret, you think you're in control. That if you wrestle harder, faster, sharper than the next man, you'll always come out on top. But what happens when you meet someone you can out-wrestle? Someone who won't play the game. Someone who tears up the rule book and laughs while you choke on the pieces. He's coming, Bret. He's coming for your Intercontinental title. Not for glory, not for fame, not even for gold. He's coming because he wants to break you. He wants to hear the sound of the Hitman gasping for air. He wants to feel your body crushed beneath his hands. He wants to show the world that even Bret Hart can be reduced to nothing. Tick-tock, champion. Tick-tock. The laughter's getting closer. And when you finally see him, it'll already be too late. Because Harvey Wippleman doesn't deal in heroes and villains. I deal in nightmares. And your nightmare, Bret Hart, is almost here.
And there we have it, Harvey Wippleman again with another one of his kind of creepy, cryptic promos, again teasing his latest superstar is going to come along. We're moving this storyline along a little bit. We're hoping to see it come to a head fairly soon. We have a 6-minute angle there with a segment rating of 66. Lots of sixes there. Harvey Wippleman, I'm still trying to get enough knowledge of what his mic skills are, but I'm liking him as a character in this whole thing, so we're going to push that through there. And obviously Bret Hart is a big superstar who's definitely going to get pushed up the card at some point as well. So we're hoping to move this on, and we come to our final match of the night, which is Hulk Hogan versus the Warlord, and in a bout that had good heat and decent wrestling. I'm absolutely baffled that the Warlord would contribute to decent wrestling, but Hulk Hogan defeated the Warlord in 11 minutes and 1 second with the big boot. saving the leg drop for the big matches, I guess, there, for a segment rating of 73, which is a little bit low for what we need. I don't think this is going to please some of our TV channels. Hulk Hogan with an in-ring of 79. That's a little bit rubbish. I would expect a little bit more from Hulk, who is insanely popular, so we maybe need to get him a few more matches, tidy that up a little bit. Warlord with 48, which is a little bit lower than I would have hoped from the Warlord. So basically contributing to a fairly average match there. But we're going to finish the show on that one. Yeah, show rating of 76. That's quite low. We've been getting into the 80s, high 80s with some of these things here. It's increased our popularity in some regions, but it's not a great card there. We've obviously got Bret with the best with his Intercontinental title. We really need to be getting Hogan on the mic. We need to be getting Macho and Flair a little bit more on the mic than they were. But you know what? This is a kind of bridging show to kind of set a few things up for Saturday night main event. That's going to be the it's a kind of B pay-per-view. It's a short one just before WrestleMania, and really WrestleMania is where we're going to try and kick off a lot more of what's going on here. We'll finish up the show there. The financial report is going to tell me that we made a load of money. Yeah, we make a decent amount of money from these shows. And popularity recap is going to tell me that, yeah, we've had a little bit of pop gain in a few places, but nothing too exciting to worry about. So, following on from that show, I guess the interesting things are, if you can let me know what you think. One, Jake the Snake Roberts, what on earth can we do with him? He seems to have just fallen out of favour with everyone at the minute, and I can't think of what to do. I've got Psycho Sid Justice, maybe we could do something there. I'm kind of shouting out loud here, I guess. Number two, who's this mystery opponent for Bret Hart going to be, who Harvey Wippleman is teasing? Have we got any ideas on that? Will it be a new superstar, or will it be someone who's already there? What do you think? Let me know on that one. And number three, I can see a really not so good piece of news there. Kerry Von Erich has been arrested for trying to falsify drug prescriptions. That's not very good for Mr. Von Erich. And number three, if we can, who's going to be Macho Man's partner? So we've got Ric Flair, who is cleared after his neck injury from the Royal Rumble, tagging with the $1 Million Man, taking on the Macho Man in the $1 Million matchup. It's either we completely forget what's gone on, or I am $1 million richer. What is it going to be? We shall find out fairly soon, I guess. But who do you think will be his tag team partner? I've not really set in stone who that's going to be. I've got an idea of some people who it won't be, but we'll go from there. Maybe we can bring in someone new. Maybe there's someone on the roster we should bring in. Let me know what you think there. We've got Bushwhacker Luke says Owen Hart is a star in the making. He could make us some serious money in the future. Luke, I absolutely agree, so we'll definitely be pushing him there. But other than that, let me know what you think. We've got the Wrestling Challenge, which is our B show. Some people have said about maybe trying to add that into the schedule a little bit, maybe, and maybe doing some videos on it. I don't know whether people want that. I think the thing at the moment with Superstars of Wrestling is it's a 1 hour show. I'm really only cramming that kind of main event scene in, and there's not a lot of world building around that mid to lower card and tag division, I guess. So maybe, would you like to see Wrestling Challenge being booked as well? Maybe probably wouldn't be as in depth with stuff, but it might start fleshing out the world a little bit more. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. That'd be really useful. But until next time, I will see you soon, and take care. Goodbye.